Martin John Hilary Willott was born in 1934 in Walsall to parents Doris and George Willott. An only child, he stayed around the area, moving to York where he lived in a house until his death in 2024. An avid traveller, he worked as a travel agent for a number of years, as well as enjoying other cultural delights such as jazz and art. He leaves behind an estate worth approximately $250,000, which will be split between 12 beneficiaries who are located around the globe. This travelling spirit seems to extend many parts of his extended family, who have been excited to learn more about this previously unknown family member.
My name is Shannon Freeman. I'm one of the public sector case managers at Fraser and Fraser. I deal with our intestate estates, so those estates where people pass away without leaving valid wills, and my role is to manage those estates and contact the rightful heirs. Whenever we get a new case in, we know that we generally have to act quite fast. It's really important for us to find family as quickly as possible. Not only is there an estate that we need to be dealing with, we also need to inform family. It could be close relatives. They might not have known of Martin's existence. We have done a bit of research and we have put together a little bit of a family tree with research still ongoing, but it looks as if Martin was an only child. He was the only child born from his parents' marriage in 1928. His father, George, he had 4 other siblings, but sadly 2 passed away in infancy, leaving just 2 uncles or aunts on that side of the family. And then on the mother's side of the family, there were 4 siblings again, with 1 passing away in infancy, leaving 3 aunts or uncles on that side of the family. So the best thing about having travelling researchers, they do kind of a wide range of things. They visit properties for us, they go and see family members, they do door knocks with neighbours. England, it's such a big place. We wouldn't be able to do it all from London, so it's so important having those people spread around, especially with kind of the past work that they've done. We usually tend to use people that have been in the police or in that kind of line of work, so nothing kind of phases them when they go to a property. Hi Francis, it's Shannon.
Hi Shannon, can I help you?
I'm going to be sending you an email, but I've got a job for you to go out on. It's a property in York. I need you to go and do the usual searches that we do.
Yeah, I'll just write down those details.
See if you can find a will, see if you can find any photographs for us. We do think that his dad was an artist, so whilst you're there, if you could also have a look out for some art, that'd be great.
Yeah, I've got all that. I'll go to the address now and see what we can find. Thanks a lot, bye-bye. My name is Frances Hannon and I'm a travelling researcher for Fraser and Fraser. So I'll go and visit the beneficiaries and tell them that they could be entitled to some money. That's one part of it. And the second is I go to people's houses. A person that's died, I will go in and I will check just to make sure there's no will in there. We look for the title deeds just to make sure there's nothing valuable within the house. We then take photographs of the house, which is sent down to London, and they look at the house and they can tell how much it might be valued at, and that's part of someone's estate. Gosh, look at this. It's definitely an artist's gallery here, like what Shannon said. So look at all these pictures. George Willott, that must be done by his father. There's lovely pictures, they're all along here. And that looks, I wonder if that's a picture of himself. Yeah, George Willott, oh, they're lovely. So they must be his dad's. And there's more on this wall as well, all round here. So when we go into the house, we look for a will, which is very important. If the person has left a will and maybe left it somewhere within the house, but maybe not visible or obvious to people, we look for the title deeds of the house, which is an important document. We check the house just to make sure it's all right, and we look for anything that may be of value to the family. So we can sometimes, if we come across jewellery or if we come across photographs that might mean something to the family, we can then take those out, and they eventually will end up back with the beneficiaries. By the looks of it, he really was interested in jazz. He's got all these tapes here, and there's something that says Martin Thursday Jazz Club. So I'm going to go and look now and see if I can find any documents that we might need. Yeah, it looks like some oh, right, yeah. So we've got Martin's passport here. His occupation is travel agent. And you can tell by the amount of stamps that he's very well travelled. It's not many people have a passport like this. So we found this picture, and I would say by looking at that, that is him when he's younger. Oh, it's another passport here. So this is a dual passport, I think, when you could have two people on it. So that's George Willott and Doris May Willott McKenna. I've never seen a dual passport.
From looking at his house, you got a real sense of who he was as a person. He had art everywhere. He loved jazz music. He was obviously a very popular person. He was out and about all of the time. So knowing that he had such a fulfilled life and so many interests, that's what's interesting about Martin and his estate.
I live opposite Martin. He used to work for Thomas Cook and put holidays together. So I can't imagine. He mentioned Palestine and South Africa. He was a quizzer, a gentleman. He said he loved jazz, and when he felt better, would I go with him? He'll drive. And I said, well, I'd love to. Thank you. But hence, he was poorly and we never got there.
We're at Dringhouse Sports Club in York. Martin used to come here on a Thursday lunchtime. So we're just going to go in and see who we can see inside and see if we can see any of his friends.
Started 8 years ago in the pub up the road. The whole idea of having it on a weekday afternoon is that people can still catch the buses home, they don't miss the last bus, they don't go home in the dark. Martin, of course, was with us right from the very beginning, and he was very knowledgeable on jazz matters. He could dissect the music that we'd been playing and complain or otherwise. Oh yes, he always sat in this corner, and he had, in fact, he had his little entourage of friends, and so it became known as the Connoisseur's Corner. Whereas the area over there is known as the Prosecco enclosure.
He wasn't from these parts, he came from Walsall in the Midlands. He had been in the RAF as a young man. He'd been involved in aircraft mechanics, I think, and often talked about that.
Do you know if he played any instruments?
No, he didn't, no. What he did do, he recorded artists where he could, and he made up CDs which he produced at home. And I have a copy of one of them here, and he distributed these among his friends. Yeah, he was deeply into that sort of thing.
Been to his house and then being here, got to know Martin a bit more, I think, and it's been really, really good. A privilege to be able to do that for his family.
So my colleague Frances, who attended Martin's property, she called me very excited to let me know it was possibly the best house she'd been in. He obviously took pride in his home, and we found lots of artwork, lots of paintings, lots of photographs, and for the family we have found a nice photo album with some very old photographs. At our present guess, we think Martin's estate's going to be anywhere in the region of £200,000 to £250,000. We haven't yet got information about what savings he would have had, so that could well push the estate value up. We just need to see what we find out. It's not an equal split amongst all of the family members. It goes down on a per stirpes basis, which means those aunts and uncles who would receive 1/5 of the estate, their descendants will receive a share that they would have received. We do see family trees going kind of global quite often, but it was a lot more of a common thing when people were going to Canada, when people were going to Australia, and they were going over in the 1950s and 1960s. Nowadays, it's quite difficult for you to just up and move abroad, so it is surprising sometimes to see where family members end up living. We are going to be speaking to one of Martin's cousins once removed through the maternal family by the name of Peter, and he's overseas in Canada. Hi, Peter. It's lovely to meet you.
Hi, Shannon. It's lovely to meet you as well. My name is Peter Murray, and I'm a beneficiary of Martin Willett's estate.
Had you heard about Martin before we made contact with you?
If it wasn't for yourselves, I would never have known of his existence at all. So it was a pleasant surprise. I would suspect my mother and my uncle knew of his existence, but for whatever reason, they never formed a relationship. I guess it's a two-way street. Martin didn't either. He existed, and we knew nothing about him, and he's a good-looking guy, except for when he was younger.
There's a fantastic photo of him in the album. He must be around 10 years old. He's wearing the full cowboy outfit.
I don't think I've seen that.
I'll have to send it through to you. It's fantastic.
And then Camilla sent over a whole slew of paintings in his house, right? What's going to happen to all those paintings?
I think we're going to try and contact the school where his father was a headmaster of, if we can see maybe if they want some of them. And I think if family wants some photographs, we can obviously get those sent to family.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a couple of them, just to say that this is from, it would be, that would be nice.
A case like this is quite typical for cases that I work on. It's been great seeing the kind of things Martin was interested in and learning about the kind of person that he was. Work like this keeps people alive and connects families all across the globe, and it is a privilege to be able to play a part in this. Next on Lineage.
The value of a bike is that somebody wants it, that somebody loves it.
It's a disease.
I must say it's quite unusual for me to find motorbikes actually inside the house.
Yeah, this role can be like detective work.
Born in 1942, but the registration is dated the 31st of March 1964.